If you like the video, subscribe right now. We just started the video.
Can we find the cars?
We were walking and then all of a sudden,
It's like, oh, filming, yeah, filming, colors. This is the life of YouTubers.
hello and welcome to the podcast. Okay, so what's up? So what are we talking about?
Yes. Oh, I have a cool intro for you.
A lot of You wrote information about me? You did research on my life?
I read your website.
Oh, okay. That's pretty easy.
Welcome back to another impromptu episode of the Photographer's Journey podcast. I'm Miles Massier, local Tampa-based photographer, Tampa St. Pete-based photographer, and on this podcast, I go around Florida meeting different photographers at some of their favorite photo locations. Gives me a chance to see a new spot, meet new people, and we get to learn the story behind the photographers themselves that you see on Instagram. My guest today is a 6'6", self-proclaimed coffee addict who enjoys capturing the raw emotions through the lens of his camera, creating memories for you to look back on. Based off the many reviews, he'll get you feeling comfortable on camera in no time. But don't even think about competing with him in karaoke, because once he starts with All Star by Smash Mouth, there is no stopping him. He is the Miami-based wedding photographer. Please welcome Spencer Schau. Welcome to the Schau.
What's going on? Thank you so much for having me.
Sorry, that intro took forever to get through.
No, I'm actually quite impressed with all the research, to be honest.
It's literally your bio.
Yeah, I know, but like there's added like portions to it, and I liked it. I liked it a lot.
Full disclosure, I completely ripped that off from Rally Cap's podcast. They have a cool way of introducing there.
Don't worry about it. Let's run it.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting how we met, actually.
Through Instagram.
Yeah, I never think of people actually watching my videos, but you actually reached out, didn't you? And you were like, hey man, those were helpful tips on the 5 ways to shoot fitness.
And it's funny because in that moment I was actually shooting a fitness video, and I did that entire video without an ND filter or a gimbal, and exposure was disgusting. It was really hard to get through it. I have an ND filter now. But
I actually just learned about them like 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah, I always shot at f/22.
I used to just overcrank the shutter.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, I know that's not the right way to do it. I mean, if there is a right way to do it, but
it's creative.
But yeah. So I mean, I saw your video, and then I was like, hey, I just want credit where credit is due. If you give good information, good tips, I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say, oh, you did a bad job or whatever. I'm obviously gonna give credit where credit is due, comment right, and that's just how that works.
Yeah, it's an interesting online community I've kind of joined into. Met Paul through Instagram. Meet everybody through Instagram. Yeah, that's how I socialize.
Yeah, it's a great place to meet people.
Yeah, and it's cool that I get to come down here to Miami and meet up with you, because I actually have a shoot Saturday.
Right.
Since I don't have questions planned, how did you get started?
How did I get started?
What was it? Young Spencer found a camera, or did you get a camera a couple years ago?
Do you want I guess we'll do the short, quick SparkNotes version. So I started off playing basketball in high school, right? I know that's a weird place to start, but playing basketball in high school, I actually hurt myself. I injured my right ankle. Let's say it's my right ankle, just to avoid not get into specifics. But I hurt my ankle, and I had a bunch of scouts that were recruiting me, and then they decided they weren't going to recruit me or scout me anymore because of said injury. So I went to the next best thing, which was collecting sneakers. So I started an Instagram page for those sneakers. Oh, really? And I started taking pictures of them.
Is that page still active? I've never seen this page.
It's still active, but I don't use it anymore. It's called His Nike Story. So the original premise of it was to explain my story through shoes, right? So once I realized that I wasn't gonna make any money from doing this, I still decided to keep it up as a hobby, enjoy it. I knew I wasn't gonna be a sneaker influencer, right? Basically. So
is that a thing now? Sneaker influencer?
That's been a thing actually, believe it or not. Yeah, and the sneaker community is huge. But anyway, so I started taking pictures for the Instagram page. Over time, I wanted to get better shots of the shoes and things like that. So I asked my dad if he could buy me a camera. So he bought me my first camera. It was a Nikon D3500. And from there, it just skyrocketed and spanned and just became this crazy like obsession, but also just wanting to learn more. I poured my brain through YouTube and just started learning things and picking up things on the go, and here I am.
Seems to be the theme. Paul, I talked to yesterday, he did the same thing. Got a camera, just went on YouTube, find out how to use it. This might be interesting. Do you actively think about the settings when you're shooting, or do you just mindlessly put it to the number? Because me and him were talking, like, I don't know how to teach people. I just kind of know the numbers to set stuff to.
Well,
I don't remember learning.
There's definitely like a rule of thumb. Obviously, you want to do double the shutter speed. Double the shutter speed to the frame rate. You want to do all those things, but I mean, I guess it depends on the situation. Like, for example, that fitness video that I had to do, I didn't have the ND filter, so I just over cranked the shutter. Like, I
guess video you think more. I meant more like photography. Like, if you're gonna do a long exposure versus shooting sports or movement, like I just kind of
feel it.
I roll the shutter.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't think
someone asked me like, "Hey, can you teach me?" Like, no.
Oh
I
no,
don't
like
know.
I could teach. I mean, there's still rules to that, I guess. I mean, rules are meant to be broken. You want to capture action. You're going to be over 1/200 minimally, Yeah. So I think there is something to do with certain aspects of it, but for the most part, yeah, I kind of just feel around for it too. Usually I'll look through I'll just look through the camera, and if whatever exposure I see, if it looks good to me, that's where I'm shut. Like, and that's backfired on me quite a few times too, where I cranked the ISO too high, I didn't realize it. I shoot the entire. Oh yeah. No, that's happened to me for sure. So I mean, I can't say that it hasn't happened to me, but yeah.
Okay, and then back to the camera. Just jumping around today.
Do it.
Did you talk about it breaking? Was that on camera or?
Wait, what breaking?
You broke the Nikon, right?
I did, yeah. So I had the Nikon D3500 that I got as a gift. I kept that, right? And then to upgrade, I bought a Nikon D7500. And I took that out into a small sprinkle of a storm, and it got drenched and soaked, and it didn't work anymore. That camera is still at home. So it got soaked
in a small sprinkle.
Yeah, soaked in a small sprinkle, and it became like my trophy. So that camera's still at home, but it's broken. It's busted up.
I have a 50 millimeter just like that. Fell out of my backpack and saw the inside of it.
Oh man!
Yeah, it's actually gonna be the thumbnail for what's in my camera bag.
Really?
I'm gonna film the bag empty, like it's open, and everything fell out. I'll shoot everything individually, stitch it together, and the broken lens. I've like really thought through this thumbnail. Yeah.
What's in my camera bag? Broken gear.
So I think that would draw attention.
It would, 100%.
Yeah. That's a cool airplane.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen every
I know
20 to 25.
But anyways, you have a YouTube channel also. It's called the Schau, like
Sure
the
do.
intro. Welcome to the Schau. What do you do on that channel?
That's a good question. It's a really good question. So originally,
I'm gonna get water.
go for it. Originally, I was gonna teach people on that on the YouTube channel. Sorry. Originally, I was going to teach people on the YouTube channel, teach people how to use their camera, beginner settings, basic things. And then I realized I can't teach. So that spiraled into vlogging and just kind of having fun with it. And I ended up going on like this really long hiatus of not posting to YouTube.
I remember I started watching your videos and I was like, wow, he hasn't posted.
And then all of a sudden, 4 months later, I went on a trip to Tennessee. And then that's where I kind of started it up again, and then it died off again. And then I posted a video not too long ago with my girlfriend. She's doing we were doing a branding session together for her. And so I want to keep doing it. I want to stay aggressive with it. The problem is sometimes I find myself unmotivated to do it because I know that I'm going to have to put... There's definitely more work that goes into it when you're doing video as opposed to photography.
Yeah.
Like being a
and then
photographer.
when you're trying to video the photography,
Yeah,
it gets
100%.
very confusing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like compared to the, I'm not saying that photographers don't put in a lot of work, but I'm saying that if you're a videographer, you're doing editing, effects, stitching things together, you're creating moments, you're building things based off of your memory or like your experience and your aspect or your perspective is what I meant to say. And that's just like, that's why I think video is so much harder, to be honest. I think it's way harder. So if I know that I'm going to do a vlog, I know that, oh, I have to go work. You have to go do something. But lately, I've just been filming everything I'm doing, and it's working out. It's working out.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah, I kind of thought the same way too, because I come from the videography, and people just started asking me if I could do photos.
Right.
Now I'm a photographer, I guess. But I used to, they always have that meme of like, the building's dark and there's one window and it's like, everyone's asleep except the photographer editing their photos. I'm like, how many photos are you editing?
Yeah.
But that's me doing street photography where I go out for an hour.
Yeah.
And I have like 5 good photos and like, but then I started doing more like event stuff and I'm like, oh, this is the editing they're talking about.
Yeah, you could do a wedding where you get like 4,000 images. And
I
you
won't
have
do
to
weddings. I won't.
Why?
You actually, you do weddings.
I love weddings. Weddings are great.
They scare the shit out of me.
So the reason I like weddings is because it's like action packed. It's like a challenge, and I know that like that scares a lot of people, and that's probably like off puts. I know a lot of people. A lot of my friends don't like to do weddings.
It's more like it's their big day. You don't want to ruin it. Like if you have something go wrong with your gear, I mean you're screwed.
But okay, all right. But theoretically, if something goes wrong with your gear, like,
well, that just happens to me.
is there really anything that could like? Is there really anything you could do?
That's true.
At that point, the only thing that you can do is either give a refund or just figure out another way of doing it, or giving some type of memory to the client. Luckily, that hasn't ever happened to me. There's no wood to knock on, but.
Well, do you do photos or photos and video?
I do either one.
Okay.
I can't do both at the same time.
Yeah, that's why.
But
I didn't know if Gabby was your assistant or sometimes or not.
no,
or she.
Gabby is she shoots my BTS most of the time for like the IG reels and stuff like that. But no, like I mean, she could probably do it. She's also kind of like you, where she's not necessarily like scared of the challenge, but scared to ruin somebody's day, which I totally get. I understand that. It's a huge milestone for the couple. You definitely don't want to mess it up. It's super important. But I like it. I think it's a great challenge, and it's a lot of fun for me to do.
That's cool. It makes the money. I always get told you need to do weddings, but I'm also not like, I don't like the big group atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's too much anxiety and stuff. I like to take 1 or 2 people out to shoot. I mean, that's just me. I prefer landscapes where there's nobody around, honestly.
I get you.
But
I totally get it.
I
I love landscapes too. Like, in fact, this actual garage, like at nighttime, is a great landscape spot, and I absolutely love with the city and like you get long exposures down that road. Dude, I'm telling you. So like, and you can just sit up here. There's never anybody here. Super relaxing, and I love landscapes too. I'm like a landscape photographer in a couples photographer's body.
Yeah.
I love both.
But those, like I was talking to Paul, he said, landscapes don't really make the money.
Yeah.
You sell a couple prints here and there, but
That's true.
you do the. I got lucky that, my gym needed pictures, and now I've got into the fitness world,
Right.
which combined with me already going to the gym.
Right.
So, and all my friends are personal trainers,
That's cool.
so I don't really have an excuse to not work out.
I've tried to sell prints before, like with the dark room.
Yeah, I have a gallery that's linked in the description.
Yeah, but like,
I get no traction.
I get no traction either.
Yeah.
So I mean, as a photographer, as a creative, you have to just like grow. You have to adapt and expand depending on what is working and what isn't working.
That makes sense. I'm trying to think of other stuff we talked about. That's what the confused look on my face is. I could insert a couple of the vlog shots here because we did a little Instagram rant down there.
Yeah.
Might be cleaner audio up here.
Probably.
Yeah. So
We can talk about it if you want.
Let's talk about it.
By
again.
all means.
what was your question to me to kind of
So, I
start it
mean,
off?
I remember, like, early on, I asked you, because I know you do the podcast, I know you do the YouTube channel, Instagram page, TikTok, IG Reels. Do you do IG Reels?
They come from TikTok if I post it.
Do they come with the TikTok emblem?
No, because I edit in Premiere and then I export the video.
Gotcha, okay. I was
Put
going
it
to
in
say,
there.
because Instagram poops on it if it has a TikTok emblem on it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Mhm.
Did not know that.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so he does like a bunch of stuff, so I was curious to know, like, does that overwhelm you? And from there, like, how do you just
Yeah.
go with it?
It's a good question. It seems very, I mean, it can get stressful. It's more of like annoying at a certain point, because it's the Gary Vee thing. You take one long piece of content, which is the 5-10 minute YouTube video,
Right.
and I take the best bits of B-roll and I make that into a TikTok or reel. And then the podcast. This just goes up on the YouTube channel.
Right.
I'm not making a separate channel for that. That just seems ridiculous.
Yeah.
Just grow one thing, which I fucked up my branding because Instagram's Miles Massey, and I never expected my page to grow that much.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it can get stressful at times, but that's just, like I said, it seems like I'm doing a lot, but it's really just cutting stuff out of one longer piece.
Do you feel like for example, let's say somebody from TikTok came to your Instagram, wouldn't they be like, oh, I've already seen this before? Like, why would I
Well-
follow him on both if I've already seen this before?
That content's kind of completely separate. TikTok is a little more expressive, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, it's mainly photos. I just did one video that got a lot of attention where it's like, with 8 years of experience, you can be like me in After Effects. I put my head down on the keyboard, and everyone loved it. But it was timed out to the song, so stuff like that doesn't go to Instagram Reels.
Right.
Instagram's more professional videography work, more
Right.
photography, which is actually why I like this new update that everyone is freaking out about. What's the thing the guy said? Instagram's no longer a
photo sharing app.
Yeah.
A square photo sharing app. Because obviously that matters, because apparently you're still going to be able to share photos,
Yeah.
but it's just not going to get any engagement, which we're kind of already dealing with, to be honest, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
IG Reels get more views, get more engagement.
yeah, he said the video was made it sound like something new. It's been happening.
Right. Yeah. They've absolutely completely made it garbage, and then I don't know. Look, all I know is that you get 3% engagement on a photo, and then you're unhappy, and other creators look down on themselves for it, and that puts a lot of people down.
Yeah, and we are still recording, right?
I think so. Yeah. Are we?
Yeah. Yeah. So because you were asking me earlier if I think that's a problem, I don't, because you should not be relying on one platform to sell your services.
Ooh, but that's difficult though.
I know, but that's.
But wait, all right. So
The way it works for me, I get a lot of referrals.
right.
But I've kind of reached a point in my career. That's so weird. If you call this a career,
Right.
kind of reached a point where, I did work for people, and now they just refer me and they'll Instagram DM me, and they can see my work there. But yeah, this would be a great Squarespace ad transition. But
Do you need a website?
If you're a videographer, an Instagram update should be great for you, because now, before you couldn't really share your videos. You can share your videos and get engagement, but now you can at least put your work up there in Reels format, and people can see what you do. I'm going to repurpose some of the fitness stuff.
But also we have to see how Instagram updates the actual platform, because they want to make it like a full screen experience, is what I'm hearing. I don't know if that's true.
I didn't hear that, but I mean, when you click into the Reels tab, it is full screen.
Yeah, but wouldn't it? I think it would be cool, like YouTube kind of. You know
Oh,
how
okay.
YouTube, that's what I
Yeah.
mean.
Oh, I see. That'd be interesting.
I guess it would be like a real full, like you flip like a reel, but it would be like a full. I don't know how.
I don't know.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
I don't know what they're going for specifically, but I know for a fact that
yeah.
that we just.
That's,
I mean,
that's
adapt.
kind of weird.
It's
Yeah.
adapting.
I mean, the reason I started posting, like, try and do 2 TikToks a week, is mainly so that I know Instagram is dying, so I don't want to keep putting too much effort into
Right.
it, you know. So I'm sharing photos on there, but that's probably not where I'm going to get clients from.
Right.
And you know, I made the joke about Squarespace, but I do have a website that's built by someone else actually. And I just send people my website. I don't have prices on there because everything I do is very random. People have different needs.
Right,
Nothing
of
really
course.
fits in a package.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But you know, if some people reach out, but for the most part, people just know who I am. That sounds really arrogant, but in my city, that's in St. Pete, you know, a lot of people have referred me to their friends.
Oh no, but that's awesome.
So
That's the dream.
yeah, but to your point with the algorithm, if you're looking to get into photography or you're like, how do I get my first client? Yeah, the update is pretty scary then.
It is, yeah.
But I don't really know the answer to how you would promote yourself on another platform, but I do think you shouldn't focus on one platform because what happens if it goes away tomorrow?
That's true. But what I do think is everybody's watching that small scale content like TikTok, Reels for entertainment purposes. They're not really like watching it to learn something or really see someone else's art. As long as they're entertained, like that's all they really care about. So all the
It's interesting,
videos.
though. There's some people on TikTok that do the tutorials,
Right.
the editing tutorials.
And they do well.
Yeah, they do really well. This one guy, Joey, does Premiere editing tips.
Yeah.
He's like, say the razor tool. He makes like a 20-second clip and makes it entertaining the way that he does it. So it's kind of interesting, these longer form YouTube videos that you and me are used to
Right.
and make. So people are finding a way to change the formula to shrink it into 30, 60-second clips
True.
to make it interesting. So now the attention span that we had to grab in like the first 3 seconds is now 1.5 seconds, probably.
Yeah.
That's not actual math.
I know. I know. Like for my YouTube videos, like my first minute is where people watch me the most.
Yeah.
My first minute to 2 minutes is like.
Has anybody ever? My graphs. Yeah.
Yeah, my
They
graphs
dip
always
pretty-
do this kind of deal.
Yeah.
It's like starts really great and then.
So I probably shouldn't be putting the subscribe at the end.
If you like the video, subscribe right now. We just started the video.
Yes. Yeah. Future Miles, use this in the beginning. Subscribe if you want to see more. All right, back to the regular schedule. So, I mean, that was kind of our little Instagram talk there. It got cut short. I mean, we kind of covered everything.
I think so.
But yeah, it was
Covered a lot of different aspects.
super cool meeting you. Thanks
Yeah,
for
man.
showing me around.
Absolutely.
Is this Miami technically, or is
This is Brickell, like
Brickell? Okay. So yeah, well, thanks for showing me around.
Yeah,
you know,
man, of course.
this area. We'll have to hang out more on a
course.
normal day. Maybe I can come down and do some more shooting.
Sounds good, yeah.
Or you're always welcome in St. Pete.
Bet.
But
good.
yeah, check out his work, guys. It's the Schau. Links are in the description. There's the Schau on Instagram. What's your website? The
Schau.com.
Schau.com.
Brought to you by Squarespace. Not sponsored.
Yes.
But it could be.
Yeah. Yes, if anyone from
Squarespace is watching.
yes. But yeah, gonna enjoy my coffee. Check out his work. Thanks so much for coming out today. And I'll see you guys on the next podcast. Oh, no!
Jumps over the edge.